Welcome back to the fish locker. We're out at the minute. It's an estuary river, Mark. As daylight comes and you see where I am, the local guys will know straight away. I've just got my first rod out. Got a squid bait out into the river. I've got a little worm bait just down by my feet. With any luck, what we might do is we might pick up a bullus out in the river. We might pick up a bream or a bass or a flounder or something down the cliffs. Get the other rod out and we'll see what we get on. What I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on fishing sandale and squid or squid out for the bullus. I'm planning on fishing a little bit of lugworm or a little bit of ragworm just down the close. I've just got a simple running ledger with a size 1/0 stinger, and I think I've got 4 rows out of distance. See how we go. This is the first retrieve. You can see that we're not only are we having trouble with crabs, we've got trouble with weed as well. Unfortunately, it's just something you've got to deal with. What this means, I mean, that was a 25 minutes, so this one's going to be 20 minutes. And also with the weed, you've just got to keep an eye on the top of the rod, because if it starts arching over, it means that you picked up a load of weed like that. Unfortunately, the smaller baits, like my little worms, they're probably going to end up hidden in the weed. So what I might do is I might get like a pop-up bead and lift it up off the bottom. We'll see. We're getting like a little tapping bite on the left-hand side rod, which has got the big bait out. Now, I don't know if you can see it up there, the white tip of the rod, but it just looks like a dogfish in a minute. How about that? Check that out. That's definitely worth getting up in the morning for, isn't it? I don't know, what is it? Before £4.5. Taking on a sandale and squid wrap. Ooh. It's a stunning fish, don't you think? What size is that mouth? It was on the ratchet and it absolutely screamed off. So I picked the rod up, wound as quick as I could round into it. Felt like there was nothing there. It was running towards me and I had to really keep up with it. But they've just come on with the tide. Let's get this guy back. Taking on a pen and look. that was a bit of fun. It's a very happy bycatch. Now the tide's running and we're just getting a lot of weed on the gear, and it's tripping the leads out, so I'm having it up the way to the leads. And instead of having long casts right into the middle, I'm having to shorten my cast distance so that there's less line out and less line for the weed to stick to. So instead of making like the 100, 120 yard casts, I'm going to make 60 to 80, and with the lighter gear and the little spinning rod for brain, I'm going to give it like a 20 yard lob because it's only got like a 3 ounce lead on. Hopefully, I mean that bite came on just as it got light. Hopefully as the sun comes up a bit, we'll see a few more fish. One of the things you might find from fishing marks like this, now this is an estuary, this is quite a decent sized river, it's pretty deep in the middle, but it's got a lot of water behind it that way. When the tide's flooding in, coming this way, what you might find is through the central stretch, the water will be going that way. But if you look down the outsides, the water's actually going that way. So I've got rafts of weed floating that way in the middle, and then down the sides they're floating that way, which is a little bit confusing unless you know the area. So the little rod that I've got behind me there, the line is drifting that way, and the 2 rods I've got out there, they're drifting that way. As you can see the rod on the right, I actually cast that up, I don't know if you can see, towards that little yellow marker buoy up there, and that's sat quite well, whereas the one that I cast straight out has trundled all the way down. So that shows you that if you cast a little bit up into the current and leave a bit of a belly in the line, sometimes the lead will hold, whereas if you're casting straight out, it'll always just roll, and it'll roll until it finds, I don't know, like a little bit of a gully or a rock or something that it can sit up against. The little dream rod what I was telling you about, which was just tucked in the side and was maybe only about 15 to 20 yards off the side, all I was fishing with was just a little spinning rod. And as you can see, just a very simple running ledger. All it was a slider with I think this is a 3 ounce lead, with about 1.5 to 2 feet, with a little bit of ragworm and lugworm. It's picked up a nice little schoolie. They are lovely looking fish, bass, aren't they? So look, just a little bit of ragworm and lugworm. Let's pop this hook out. Let's get this little fella back. As the flood's picked up a little bit and the water seems to be moving faster, I'm not having to cycle the baits as often as I was. See, this is 30 minutes. This was a sandale and squid wrap, so there is still something there that's a little bit partial to some squid, but the sandale's lasting longer. I'll leave them out for 45 minutes next time. I don't know if you can see, but I'm just starting to get of interest again. Left hand side rod. Just a little. Leave it and let it develop. See, I have that rod fishing on what's called the ratchet, because it's a multiply reel. It's got a little switch on it, but when you engage that and disengage the bail arm, it holds it, and then as lines pulled out it clicks. I generally fish with one on the ratchet so that I can be baiting up and I don't need to watch the rod, because if there's a bite I'll hear it. Got about another 3/4 of an hour to an hour until we're at the top of the flood. Now I was hoping that the better fishing would have happened already. We'll maybe give it an hour over the flood, and then we'll go home. Right, well it's just about to finish flooding, and it started raining. The session's been spoilt really by the amount of weed that there is. Huge rafts of floating weed. You get a real good cast and you get exactly where you want it, and then 5 minutes later a big raft of weed comes and picks your line up, just drags it right away. It's unfortunate, but it's what happens, isn't it? And, we'll make these my last casts. I'll start packing up, and then we'll get home. But there's been 2 bass. One was a nice little bass, and the other one was just like, I call him a 6-inch bait robber. Give a real good bite, just thrash about real bad. They're beautiful little fish, aren't they? I hope this has helped. See you later.